What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tierfon Orbital. So today I would like to talk a little bit in depth about an install that I completed on an Occularis. So this is I think it's like the third or fourth time an Occularis has come across my desk. So I am no stranger to this hilt. However, this particular install is a little bit unique, right? So this hilt was not only, listen, this is a beautiful etch and powder coat on this hilt. So this was etched and powder coated by Carl over at Vaults of Valhalla. It has been etched with a Lord of the Rings theme. I mean, this thing is beautiful, but not only is there a really cool etch, but Carl also machined a window into the grip, so we get a nice crystal reveal through the grip into that chassis, into that crystal chamber, right? Just a really, really awesome build on this particular hilt. In fact, like I've mentioned this before, I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of Carl's work firsthand. But this one is the one that made me finally make a decision to get something done by Carl. So I will be sending Carl something to do an etch and a powder coat for me. But yeah, just awesome artwork, right? Anyhow, this has been installed with my hybrid chassis, right? So this has got a full brass upper crystal chamber. The main battery holder and Proffie holder was done in MJF nylon. And we've got some sterling silver probes and accents as well, right? So I do want to come into Fusion and talk a little bit about the chassis, and then of course we will come up top. So let's come into Fusion. Okay, so here is the chassis. I'm hesitant calling this a master chassis. I think somebody else calls their brass chassis master chassis. Yeah, so we're just going to stick with a hybrid chassis or an heirloom chassis, right? So this full upper section is all one solid piece of brass, okay? I do have integrated wire management tubes that come up to the top of the chamber itself, right? But this entire upper section is all solid brass. The two probes that I designed, they have been printed in sterling silver, okay? I wanted to do that to give some contrast in the crystal chamber, right? The main body of the chassis, this is where the Proffie board is housed, right? So the Proffie board does slide up underneath this lip to help it secure in place. There's a kill switch down in here. And then of course around back, I am so bad at navigating in Fusion. Around back is the battery tray, right? So this upper brass section marries into the lower part of the chassis with some threaded rod and barrel lugs, right? And that's where these two indentations are for. And then up top, we've got our marble holder, right? So this hilt has a very interesting eye piece in the upper part of the hilt. So I designed a marble holder that houses the PCB emitter as well as the marble, right? So these two pieces clamshell together. So I wire up my bottom NeoPixel first, and then I actually epoxy the marble in place before I clamshell these two together, right? So once I do that and it's cured, I put them together. These two also glue together, and then you can bring your leads up through these holes on each side of the marble, right? Nice and easy. I'm really, really happy with the way this came out. This is the first time I've done anything this big in brass. There's a lot of material here, right? So this is just one solid hunk of brass, okay? Really happy with how that came out. So let's come up top. All right, so here it is. This is the Occularis that has been beautifully powder coated and etched by Vaults of Valhalla. So this, in my opinion, this is artwork, right? So there is just some really, really fantastic art that has been done to this hilt around this eye section. I don't know if this is going to come up on camera, but the elvish that is around both windows for that eye, it's been done in like a gold powder coat. I don't know. It just like that contrast with the brass greeblies, it just looks so good in my opinion, right? And then of course, Carl did machine a window into the grip so we get a nice crystal reveal in here, okay? The marble is a Noah Drew marble. I believe the center of this marble is I think it's a lab-grown opal, I think, if I'm not mistaken, right? Really, really cool marble. I actually have this same marble in my personal Occularis, right? So let's talk about how to use the hilt, okay? To get at your grip, or to remove your grip rather, you want to unthread this knurled thumb screw, okay? Just unthread it a little bit, just loosen it. And then you want to twist your grip off. Now with this particular Occularis, the grip is a little bit finicky, okay? It's a little tight, but once you want to twist it to unlock it and then pull the grip off, right? So there is that crystal chamber. I also did a pass of pewter rub and buff on this. The crystal chamber has also been weathered, but we kept the sterling silver probes clean. I do not know how to tarnish sterling silver. I'm sure there's a way, but I like keeping them shiny. This is the same application I did to my personal. I like them being shiny because it gives us a really cool contrast, right? And that's it. 28 millimeter speaker at the bottom here. Here is our Proffie board and kill switches down in here. Okay. And there are those barrel lugs that I was talking about. So there are threaded rods in that upper brass crystal chamber, and then they are tightened. The whole thing is tightened down in place with those barrel lugs. Okay. So once you get your grip off, take your battery. Spring side is your negative. Spring side is down towards the speaker. Okay. Put your battery in. So this was already on, right? There is our lit crystal chamber. So I have two NeoPixels in here, one in the bottom and one in the top. They are their own blade in the config. And then for the marble, I've got two NeoPixels as well, top and bottom. So this whole thing has been set up with sub-blades though. So just to the customer in the config, the marble is also a sub-blade of the main emitter, right? That's it, right? So once you get your battery in place, slide your grip on. You want to kind of push it into place and then twist it to lock it. And then you can tighten that knurled thumb screw. There's that window. Man, that looks so cool. And then you're ready to go. Let's come down to the bottom. Man, that is such a cool feature. Having the crystal reveal in that grip like that, that is really, really cool. There's that Noah Drew marble. Just an awesome, awesome hilt. But not only is it an awesome hilt, but this build, this modification, the etch, the window, it's so, so cool. One of the cool things about the Occularis is that it is ripe for modifications, right? So you can do all kinds of really cool wraps for the grip. It's great for etching. It's just a really, really awesome hilt. Let's put a blade in it. So look at that. There was a blade plug in this and I didn't lose it this time, right? I put this in for the glam shots, okay? This is a 1-inch blade holder. So loosen your blade retention knurled thumb screw here. Rest your blade on those PCB pins. Tighten your thumb screw and you're ready to go. So to the customer, you did have some font requests, so I was able to oblige and put those on your config for you.
I'm Luke Skywalker.
It's a loud hilt. It's a nice font. Anyway, before I break my ceiling fan again, that is the Occularis. That is the Occularis that was modified and etched by Carl at Vaults of Valhalla. Man, that is such a cool feature, man. One of the things I love about this particular powder coat and etch job is that elvish that's around that eye there. It just looks so good to me, right? So anyhow, to the customer, thank you very much for trusting me with your very, very beautiful hilt. If anyone has any questions about this particular chassis, this build, please do not be a stranger. Actually, to the folks that have ordered these chassis from my website, I do want to say thank you very much for the support. The first wave of those chassis was sent out, or will be sent out rather, this coming Tuesday. And there is a second batch that is also at the printers now. So to those of you that have purchased this chassis, I'm really grateful. I'm happy that people want to put this into their hilts, right? So anyhow, with all that out of the way, thank you very much for watching, everyone. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Have a good one, everybody.